create images around belonging, and I often paint the space that way. Astronauts as a way of exploring yourself and being in uncharted territory and the unknown. I'm Chris. I'm an artist from Bristol in the UK. I often felt like an alien growing up because I discovered through a breakdown in 2017 that I have ADHD, and then only last year, I'm nearly 37, that I am also autistic as well. I find social interaction particularly taxing, but that's also probably being an artist and being socially awkward as well. And I'm still understanding what it means, but it kind of makes sense through looking at, through my life, through the past, and figuring it out. I'm an intuitive artist. I went to university. I did illustration in Swansea. I'm more of a fine artist though. I'm carving a creative life for myself. I paint often. I've painted at the art battles, Upfest. I've sold work in North Street Gallery, art trails, flea markets, various places, wherever I can get my work out into the world. I started doing YouTube in June 2020 when the whole world shut down with the COVID pandemic, and it's been a wonderful experience through community and things, but it's also been a challenging experience through mindset and putting yourself out there and not basing it on views, but what do I actually want to say in the world? And that's something I'm still working on, still working through that process, still working on connecting to community, connecting to real people rather than a number, an algorithm. And I love meeting all those in the comments, other artists, other art lovers, other humans, just these sort of collective of creative people. Through this process of being on YouTube, through putting myself out there in the real world and through connecting to people, I've got to know myself more and learn a lot through communication that's beyond visual communication, beyond painting. Although painting and visual communication is where I favour, and I use painting as a way when I can't explain in words, and I'm often just chasing that flow state to be in the moment, to be lose time, because everything else I've tried, because I chase the money, I chase side hustles, and as a sense of self-worth, but your value comes in other ways, in other means. Through that process, I've just learned that everything else, I'm watching the clock, watching the hours, but painting, particularly painting rather than drawing, is where I really feel in the moment. But I also enjoy just sketching out and noticing people and noticing things that other people don't notice through the act of watching and viewing and seeing. You notice the details that you wouldn't normally notice. I love being an artist. I've always been an artist since the age of 4. Ever since I could pick up a paintbrush, from potato prints, from the usual stuff you do, I went on to painting and mixing fully. Did a cartoon dinosaur course when I was 8 with older children, and I've always just enjoyed creating something. It's not so much the end result, it's the process, but you do have a physical painting at the end of it, something tangible. And this is why I like traditional art more than digital, although digital has its place, and I do like designing things as well. And a lot of my paintings do have that message of belonging and being different and identity. The way I see the world, like nature and kingfishers and the usual stuff that artists paint, but in my own kind of artistic voice and way of communicating in art. A lot has changed since the last update, and got a dog now who is off with his dog walker. He's got a new dog walker, so having painted last night at a charity auction, I was too tired walking this morning, but it gives me a chance to talk without him coming along, because every time I talk, he thinks I'm talking to someone and he wants to be a part of it, which is wonderful, but can be challenging for making these videos. I'm really striving to put my work out there more. I've got a lot of flyers because my neighbours don't even know I'm an artist until a few of them know now as of last week. And I just thought, there's so many people who don't know who I am, so I'm just going to put some flyers out there. I don't want it to seem salesy, I'm a bit scared of that, but I just want to say I'm an artist, I exist, this is the artwork I do, this is the story, this is the connection. Come to a show, say hi, don't need to buy anything. People knowing that I'm an artist is all that matters, and yes, I need to make a living, but through that organic kind of word of mouth, things are going to happen without me having to sell the artwork. I just need to put it in front of people, get to know people. That's what it's about, really. The confidence level has changed a lot. I'm still have my moments. Like last night, with the auction, I was just rushing and just thinking I need to get a finished product going, and it's for charity, and I need to get a lot going so it sells in the auction. And needless to say, they didn't get finished. They didn't go into the auction. They made enough, and I'm going to put those are going to go into the flea market and other shows, and then a percentage will go to them. So it's trying to let go of expectations, because I'm not there to entertain, I'm not there to make a product, I'm not there to help the charity. I'm just there as giving my time and just being a part of it, and trusting that everything will go as it needs to go. And some days with art, it works, it just works, and you can get things done really quickly. Other times it's a real struggle to get that artwork finished, and in those moments it does feel like work. It is a job, it is, but it should always have an element of play. Serious art comes from serious play, as Julian Cameron says, and it's meant to be relaxed. The more relaxed you are with art, the more you can create something amazing, and you never really make a good painting out of being stressed and desperate or trying to get things finished. Things get finished through the minor course corrections and just enjoying the minor adjustments along the way. I paint so I don't have to think. I paint to stop thinking. I paint to be in the flow state, to be in the moment, and it helps me with my well-being and mental health, and it helps me just to feel the quality of the paint, feel that tangible, tactile nature, and I love seeing what the paint will do. It's a collaboration between me and the artwork. This dog painting, which is meant to signify dogs having fun and taking a selfie of themselves and all being with their friends and happy, I can put emotion into the brushstrokes. It doesn't have to necessarily be a conceptual idea that is unique and original and has never been done before. It can be done in the style and the way you approach it, because we're all unique, we're all our own humans, and so it's going to have your fingerprint on it, it's going to have your artistic voice in that sense. This was my very first wall painting with the Bristol Mural Collective. I love the paisley splats and drips, and then pushing the reality with that. Some moods I'm just wanting to throw it on the canvas, or in this case a wall, and others I want to be more of a planning. I hadn't realised how much I've learned since the Upfest festival, which took me 14 hours. This time I decided to go in without a plan, just bring my spray cans and paint one of my little "Your mind is a maze" dudes, which is all about using art to tell your story without words, and so that's why I've got the red over the mouth, which you'll see in a moment. I've painted ever since I could hold a paintbrush, and of course at that age I wasn't thinking about an art career, and that thought can really get in the way of taking risks and experimenting in your artwork. Whenever the path seems too great,
to turn this hobby into a career, I try side hustles. They often cost me my health, my identity, and my happiness. I found myself working more with creating images that I want to create as a metaphor, or I think will look good, or I think will have the right feeling, rather than actually painting with raw emotion, which is kind of what I want to get back to, because they're great memories for looking back on, and it's just always that fear that the audience isn't going to connect. But then I've had both my traditional eagles and various portraits sell, but also I've had my crazy maze head sell as well. So there's always something for someone. And David Bowie puts this beautifully. So I want to create art that has feeling again,